Welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on Lockdown Sunday here in Melbourne. And of course, let's continue our sporting theme in particular. Let's go across to American football, especially Gridiron, of course. And normally at this time of the year, the women's competition would have just got underway. But unfortunately, that hasn't happened this year. But of course, we've got three very special guests from the Western Crusaders to tell us a bit about how they've been going in lockdown with a season not going ahead at all in 2020. And they join us right now to tell us a bit about it. Thanks, all you, for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
I'll get each of you to introduce yourselves and obviously what position we would normally be seeing all of you on the field if the season started already as it is today.
My name is Bridget. I usually play centre. Last season I was the offense captain as well. So really missing my centre and my offense ladies and my Crusaders ladies, but yeah, I'm usually right in there in the middle of the field.
Great. My name's Anne. I am a defensive player, a defensive back, more specifically a cornerback, just in the backfield running around, trying to catch the ball. But it never happens. Can't catch the ball, guys.
And I'm Kiara. I'm also on defense. I play corner and I also play linebacker.
Now, as I mentioned in the intro, that today would have been either the first or the second week of the season for your competition. I guess, how sad is that to not have any games at all in 2020?
Heartbreaking.
Really bad.
I miss my football and I miss my ladies.
I think I'm the only one that's kind of like, oh yeah, it's fine, because I injured my knee late last season and I was so devastated that I was going to miss this season. But then COVID hit and I was like, great, everyone's missing out. We're all on the same page. Fine. But no, it is very sad that, I don't know, at least going to watch the girls play, I was looking forward to that, and it's been a little bit tough, I think, just not having sport around in general.
Yeah, definitely missing it. It's it would be right in the middle of pre-season, or it may be probably even starting the season very soon. And I mean, COVID hit right in the middle of state training and stuff. We were about a couple of weeks out of leaving for that as well. So it's damaged all of the football that we could have done this year, which sucks. But I mean, hopefully the season next year will be just massive then.
Yeah, everyone's going to bring it, surely. They've had a long pre-season.
Now, you mentioned before that you're coming off an injury from last year. I guess, how's that going? And when were you expecting to be playing if you had a chance to recover and to get back on the field?
So I ruptured my ACL towards the end, actually I think it was midway through last season. And it was funny because I wasn't convinced that it was a complete rupture, and I went to see the orthopedic surgeon and he's like, yeah, go back to training, you should be fine. And every time I played, my knee would just kind of buckle underneath me. I'm like, this isn't right. So then we had a consult, and it's because this is the second time I've torn my ACL. And after the first surgery and rehab, I said that I would never go back to getting a second surgery because it was so hard. But it was I think it was a really easy decision to decide, yeah, I'm having this surgery, because I just can't imagine not being on the field at all. But I'm at the tail end of my rehab now. So if the season was on, I'd probably be able to catch the tail end of the season. I'd be able to play for the tail end, but obviously I wouldn't, because I'm a little bit responsible. We're doing well. So next season I'm 100% in. Yeah.
Now, how did the team go last year in 2019?
We had a good year. I mean, we got off to a little bit of a slow start, but we really built some momentum towards the end of the season. Got right through to the Vic Bowl, but unfortunately, the Raiders team was just amazing this year, and just came out with all of their glory, and just got over us. But I mean, the momentum we built from last year we can definitely take to next season for sure.
Coming off a grand final loss, obviously now it's a very long pre-season. This is going to be going into the 2021 season. I guess, is that grand final loss motivation to go and win it the Vic Bowl in 2021?
Yeah, 100%. No one wants to lose a Big Bowl, especially because we won the year before and we were so hungry for it, but we just have to come out next season and see what we can do.
Yeah, I agree. Like, no one wants to lose in a championship game. Like, I think I remember seeing so many tears that last game. But definitely, like, 100% want to come back and get that trophy back. Like, I want it back in our club room. So bad.
Now, what have you been doing in lockdown to get yourselves motivated to hopefully get back on the field soon?
Lots of home workouts.
Yeah, same.
And the football's just started again. So that's very exciting because I was missing all aspects. And now at least we've got a little bit there.
I know,
So
I was watching last
the
week and I was like, oh, I want to be on the field.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm still working. I think Bridget was saying that she was still working through this entire lockdown as well. So still very busy with that. I'm a healthcare worker, so unfortunately hospitals will never close. So I'm still doing that. I mentioned before that the knee rehab, lots of knee rehab and lots of exercises, but also I started a Pilates instructing course as well. So I've been very productive in this lockdown, doing lots of things.
In last year's team, tell us a couple of players that had an outstanding year, and you can't include yourselves.
Teresa always comes to mind when you think of outstanding players. Like, gosh, geez, if I had the athleticism that she does, I would be blown away. Teresa, anyone
I would
else?
say Zarika coming in as a rookie and just like the season she had, I was just like, how is this your rookie season? Like, she was incredible.
Yeah, and I think Lou, our quarterback as well, I mean, keeping us together for the whole season was just amazing. And she had some injury issues throughout the season, and then in our Vic Bowl, tore everything in her knee and still played the rest of the game, was just outstanding. I mean, it just shows what kind of an athlete she is. But yeah, I mean, there's so many girls on our team that just come out every week and just absolutely kill it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think you can really pinpoint any one individual because every position is a little bit different and everyone brings their A game in their specific position. So you can't really say this person's better than this person because everyone's role is a little bit different and everyone brings it 100% every single time.
And especially Gridiron being such a team sport, like without any specific position, like you're not going to come together as a team and like get the job done. Like you need everyone.
Yeah.
Now, tell us a bit about your coach last year.
Oh, Rob, we're going to miss him. He moved to Queensland right at the end of our season. We started off pre-season last year with nobody. We were training ourselves. We had minimal numbers at training because it was quite hard to get sort of a structure together with just the playing group coaching ourselves. And then one day, Rob just turned up for the men's and we were able to lure him in with some persuading. But the knowledge that that man has of the game is just incredible. Treated us absolutely amazing, more than what we could have asked for. He was just absolutely the bomb.
Now, of course, you mentioned that obviously your last year's coach going up north. Have you found a coach for next year's season?
We did have Glenn Park lined up for this season. I'm not sure if that still will carry over for the next season coming. I believe so. So yeah, fingers crossed. I think so.
Now, how did all you get involved in American football, and why did you choose it?
So I've always grown up playing a lot of sport, primarily soccer, and I've been playing soccer for a real long time since high school, actually. And after I tore my ACL a first time, so previous to this ACL rupture, I tore another time. When I was going through that rehab, I was kind of sitting there and kind of thinking, I've been playing soccer for so long and it's getting a little bit, not boring, but you know, you play it for so long and you kind of start thinking, well, there has to be something else out there that's a little bit more interesting and kind of tests your skills a little bit and challenge you a little bit more. And it happened to be when the Crusaders were just like, you know, trying to build up a women's squad again. And I got a flyer and showed up to training and never looked back.
Yeah, I've been sporty forever. I've done everything. And playing basketball is one of the ones I stuck with. I actually played AFL when I was younger in an old boys team before women's teams were actually a thing. So always been a bit aggressive. Was always told that I'm a little bit too aggressive for basketball. And yeah, so one of the girls that I played basketball with when I was a junior, her and her dad were quite involved with Crusaders, and I was looking to maybe play something else. And yeah, got in touch with them, and came and sort of helped build up the original, the sort of, because we were the Foxes, and then that sort of went down, and now we're the Women's Crusaders. So yeah, started off with the first year of the inaugural Women's Crusaders.
Yeah, just like bridge, I was always a bit too aggressive for the other sports I played. And so I was playing AFL at the time, and my mum was like, oh, there's this women's team, they're playing Gridiron, they need players. And I was like, what's Gridiron? Like, I don't know what that is. And she's like, no, go to training, like, it'll be fun. And I went down in jeans because I was like, I'm not training, like, this will be an excuse so I don't have to, like, get out there and run. And anyway, I went and I loved it, and I'm so glad my mum forced me to do it.
Is that so weird that your mum forced you to do Gridiron? Don't you find the parents are all like, oh, Gridiron, no, don't do that.
Exactly. She's like, no, get out there, you're doing it. And I was like, okay.
Your mum has been our mum throughout the entire time anyway, so yeah. I wouldn't expect anything less.
Now, I'm assuming one of the highlights would have been the Vic Bowl, which I can see two of you wearing that Vic Bowl championship shirt as well.
I have one. I don't know where it is.
Now, tell us a bit about that 2018 Vic Bowl.
So that was like coming off the back of a loss from the semi-finals from the previous year. So we were extra hungry. Like, I remember that semi-finals, we played that game where we lost. We didn't lose by very much, but we walked out of that game.
We got reversed.
Pouring. Tears everywhere. Like, there was not a single eye that was dry. Like, we were so upset. So when we came back the following year, so 2018, God, we trained so hard. Like, so hard. And we trained so much, and God, it was worth it.
Yeah, our coach Harry at the time was an absolute workhorse. So everything was done to a T. It was perfect. We repped and repped, and just getting the plays. I mean, on our offense side, we had the one play that just worked every single time, and we just repped that. A lot of discipline, as Anne said, a lot of training. We really worked for that championship. Really worked for it.
It was my first season with Crew, and I had heard the stories of the previous season, and just you could tell how hungry everybody was for it, and it just made you want to work for it because you wanted to be a part of something. Like, you could tell something, you know, we're working for something great, and just to get to that game and beat Croydon, like, after that season, it was just the best feeling.
Now, I have to ask this question for the fact that I asked the Raiders who beat you last year this same question, which is, I'm sure all you had a chance to have a photo with the trophy and the cup, and how long did you wear your medals for?
I took mine to work.
I went to school.
So we did like a little Mad Monday thing after our win, and we all had our medals on then. And yep, I took mine to work, and I was like, look at this. I took it everywhere. I was so excited.
I don't even think, like, I put mine away because I didn't want to lose it. Like, because, like, I've been in a few, like, soccer, like, leagues and stuff, and, like, I want to have so many medals from soccer, but I can't find a single one.
They're really safe, in a really safe place.
I'm putting this one away. I know where it is. I'm not going to lose this one. So I know where it is, safely kept out there. So I still have it, just haven't worn it very much because I don't want to lose it.
Yeah, fair enough.
And did any wear your medals to bed?
Mm.
Oh.
No, I don't think so. I think taking mine to work was probably enough for me.
Yeah, if anyone was going to wear it to bed, it would probably more be you, Bridge.
Yeah. I'd be surprised if Harry had worn his to bed.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. He like took the trophy home into his bed and like cuddled it.
Yeah.
Did anyone take turns in taking the trophy home?
Yeah, I think it travelled through a few. I didn't have it, but I think it travelled through a few people, and then it stayed at the club. We have like a little trophy cabinet, and stayed at the club for the season.
Do either you have any short or long-term goals in the sport of American football?
I think for me, getting through doing the state, obviously getting through and planning to go play state was something that I really wanted to do. I've been asked a couple of times if maybe Australia's squad is something that I wanted to try out for as well. So I think taking it that way would be really fun. I mean, this sport is everything to me. I love it. It's made for me and my body type. And so I mean, taking it, state and then Australia would be amazing if that's something I could get to do.
I haven't really looked that far ahead. I mean, I got my knee surgery so that I could keep playing, so that's a start. I agree with Bridge. I probably want to head to state, and then eventually, if I'm good enough, but I can't catch a ball, so maybe not, play for Australia. But yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think just developing as a player, for one. I feel like I'm still pretty new. I've played 2 seasons now, and I just feel like, I want to develop more as a player, and then hopefully state, like, if that's in the cards. But yeah, I don't know, we'll see.
Now, what does the sport of American football mean to all three of you, especially playing for the Western Crusaders?
The sport is something that I found. It sounds really corny, but it's a true calling for me. I think it embodies what I need from a sport. Being a bigger girl, being the stature that I am, it's strength, it's hard work, it's what I get from the sport is what I can do well. And then just being part of the Crusaders, I mean, is amazing. We're a big family. Off season, we still talk to each other. Through the season, we're with each other 3 or 4 times a week. We're all there for each other. And not even just the women's teams, but the whole round of the Crusaders. I mean, I spend a lot of my time through our season also watching the men's and watching the juniors, and I'm part of the committee. Like it's just not just the football side of things; it's the family side of things for me as well.
Yeah, I think particularly with American football, I like it. It's so important to me just because of the inclusiveness of it. You often find that for a particular sport, it's always the same kind of body physique. Say for soccer, you always have the kind of same body type, but with American football, you just have such a huge variety of body shapes and sizes that all contribute to you achieving what you need to achieve. And I think that it just brings everyone a little bit more together, that, you know, just because Bridge is a little bit bigger than me doesn't mean that, you know, she's better than me or I'm better than her, because we have completely different roles, and the body type that we have are suited to those roles. But without Bridge, we can't do anything. And without me, we would still do stuff, but, you know, we wouldn't do stuff very well.
You too.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's so important, because you need sports like that, that enable and empower everyone of every different shape to do something, like to help the team to achieve something. I think that's why I love the sport so much. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, like in terms of body size and all that. But even just like the way that it's such a team sport, I love that. Like, you can't, like I was saying before, you need everybody. Like, you need all those positions in order to just, like, you know, do a set, do a round, whatever. And I love that. Like, it doesn't matter what position you're in or what someone else is in. Like, we need everybody, and just like the family of the Crusaders. Like, I'm so glad my mum pushed me into crew. Like, if she'd sent me anywhere else, I probably would have regretted it. But I love being around crew. Like, I've missed being just around that like family environment. Like, it's just like we're all everyone's just a big family, like all the three teams.
Now, what will be your advice to our listeners out there that once we get our lockdown, should get down there to have a go in American football?
Don't be scared. Like, I'd never heard of it. I didn't know the rules by the time I even got on the field for my first game. And now I'm like obsessed with the sport. Like, just give it a go. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, at least you tried.
I think you don't even need to be sporty either. We've had a lot of girls that have never even played a sport before that come into this and have loved it. I mean, don't even second guess it. Just do it.
Yeah, I agree. Just give it a try. Like, don't even like buy into it's too rough and like, you know, you're going to get a concussion. You learn all the techniques that you need to do and how to do them safely. Like, just go in there, give it a go. Like Kiki said, if you don't like it, fine. If you do, you're probably better for it.
Mm.
Now, of course, you might as well tell us, whereabouts is your home ground?
Farnsworth Avenue. Yeah. Footscray.
Now, let's finish off with a couple of light-hearted questions about your teammates last year, or even this year. But we'll start off first. I know, as we mentioned, we love our NFL. Obviously, the NFL is back. Of course, week 2 tomorrow. Tell us, who is your favourite NFL teams?
I follow the Texans.
I'm a Packers fan.
I'm Falcons.
Well, I know my team's a rival to the Texans, and we beat you in week 17, so last year. So that's the Titans, as you probably can see behind me. Now, had the most embarrassing moments last season, and what was it?
I fell a lot last season. I was always on the ground. I think I remember in the Vic Bowl, I had a few friends on the sideline, and for whatever reason, I had fallen, and with my arms, I had tried to cover my head with my helmet on. So I'm around like that with my helmet on. And I remember getting up, and my friends were like, "What are you doing? Why are you covering your head?" So I'm just in the fetal position with my arms over my head on the ground. Yeah, don't need to cover your head if you've got a helmet on. It's all good.
I mean, it was embarrassing that, like, by the end of the season, half the team were injured, weren't they? Like, there was me that went to surgery. Lou had her knee injury. Somebody else went to surgery.
Yeah, Rach had her ACL done too.
Yeah.
Wasn't it the same day or a couple of days apart from yours?
Yeah, and then like, didn't someone like cut their leg open on one of like the sprinkler things?
Yeah, BJ, she cut a knee open on a sprinkler and then went into shock on the sideline mid-game. That was entertaining.
I think like that's really embarrassing that we had so many injuries in such a short space of time. But yeah, that's good.
Who's the comedian in the team?
Z's pretty funny. Zarika's pretty funny.
Yeah.
She's pretty good. I think we work so much through training that we try and take it so seriously.
Any good singers or dancers we should know about?
Sal, probably our dancer.
Oh yeah.
She's one of our big dancers, for sure. Singers. I don't know if I've heard anyone sing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I sing through training sometimes on the O-line because we do the same reps over and over again. Which I'm not a good singer, so don't need to watch out for me. I do a lot of talking and just to get us through the basic reps, I think.
Now, during this lockdown, have either you tried anything new? And if so, is there a hidden talent that you didn't think you had?
No, so lockdown's been a bit, I mean, it's probably for Anne too. Lockdown's been a bit different for me than what it would be for other people working. I work in the transport industry, so it just means being at work a hell of a lot more than normal. So no new talents for me, unfortunately.
Yeah, I haven't been working obviously as much as you guys, but I'm at Bunnings and we've been like crazy busy. So I've just been working a lot, so I haven't really had time to do anything new.
I don't think I've got like a new talents or done anything new, but I'm getting a lot stronger with this Pilates stuff. And yeah, so I've been doing like crazy things on the reformer. I'm very impressed with myself.
You have to take us all for a Pilates session when we come back.
Then, yeah. Absolutely.
Weekly Pilates with Anne.
Oh, please. I'll definitely be in for that, considering I'm doing Pilates myself. So definitely in for that. Now, two final ones, which is, do either of you have a pre-game superstition or ritual?
I always have to solve a Rubik's Cube just to like settle my mind. I don't know, it's weird, but I have to.
Don't you go to the toilet as well? Like, don't you go
the whole team goes to the toilet at the same time. Like everyone decides that they're going to the toilet at the same time right before the game.
Yeah. Pre-game, every single pre-game, someone's turning to me and they're just like, "Oh my god, I need to take a dump."
It's the pre-game nerve, and everyone gets them at exactly the same time, and everyone tries to go at exactly the same time.
It's like, oh, there's no toilet paper, guys. Please don't toilet paper.
I think for me, I always, which is not normal, but I always drink coffee before the game, and I'm always there. I'm like normally one of the first there. I'm ridiculously early all the time. And last year I spent a lot of time warming our quarterback up, which is a bit weird because I'm catching the center, catching as the quarterback's passes. So it was a bit of an odd little combination of warm-ups, but we did it most games and it was good. Gets us both warmed up.
Well, Oi, thank you so much for giving up your time to join us. It's awesome having all three on the show. Hopefully we get to catch up with all three in person this time. Hopefully preparing for a 2021 season. Hopefully get that Vic Bowl back from the Raiders in 2021 and hopefully make it 2 championships in technically 3 seasons.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Super excited for next season.
No worries, and that's the Western Crusaders women's gridiron team. Make sure you get down there, because we'll put all the details up on how you can go about getting involved in 2021. There's more on the Smash Sport Show right after this. Don't go away here on Lockdown Sunday.